Coming to see us this afternoon. We have a very special treat for you this afternoon. Governor Jim Justice has decided he wants to come and be amongst coal people. He's a coal person himself, and here he is to join us. I'd like to introduce a man that needs no introduction, who is going to introduce the governor, and I refer to my good friend Bill Rainey, the president of the West Virginia Coal Mining Institute. Let's give him a nice round of applause.
All right, thanks, Bill. Well, it's a real pleasure to be able. I told the governor that I get to introduce him, so I get to say a whole lot of things that I've been waiting a long number of years to say. But he's been a great friend. I've known him most of his life, and certainly knew his mom and dad, Jim Sr. and Edna, and they were wonderful, wonderful people and pioneers in our industry. They truly were, and many of the things that we're able to do today is because of what Jim Justice and some of his partners did through the mining in Raleigh County and southern West Virginia. Jim, I don't know how much you all know about him, but he grew up in Beckley, and he went to Marshall. He was on the golf team, and he got an undergraduate degree there. And then he came out and he decided he liked agriculture, so he went down in Monroe County and got started in farming. And I think it's still true that you're probably the largest corn grower east of the Mississippi. You're not now, you're governor of West Virginia, but I mean, before you took the spot in Charleston, you had more corn fields than anybody east of the Mississippi, and loves the agriculture part of it. He had Bluestone Industries. Following his father's death, he got into the mining industry. And his son Jay has now taken that over since he is the governor. And I'm sure many of you all in the room know Jim from what he's done in our industry. And you probably know Jay now from what he's doing in the industry. And his daughter, Jill, who is a medical doctor and is also president of the Greenbrier, which Jim came in, and I'm sure you all are familiar. He rescued the Greenbrier and saved one of the brightest spots in this state from bankruptcy. And I tell you, if you haven't been up there, you need to go, because it's absolutely restored to the greatness that it once enjoyed up there, and much of that, all of that really, is a tribute to Jim. He lives with his wife Kathy and their two dogs, Molly Bell and Lucy, in Lewisburg. And somebody said this morning they got a mansion up there. Well, they don't have a mansion. They got a house right downtown Lewisburg, right in the neighborhood up there. There's nothing pretentious about this guy. And this guy was elected to take on the state of West Virginia at a very difficult time. And he's doing everything he possibly can to bring it back. And I'm telling you, from the 8th of November, when we had an election and Donald Trump took over, the federal government got straightened out. And Jim Justice came in as governor, and it's been on an absolute positive track since then. That's why this show is so much better this year than it's been in many, many years, because everybody's got a positive attitude. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to present to you the 36th governor of the state of West Virginia, Jim Justice.
I think I can just talk. Yeah. Well, Bill Rainey wasn't too awful bad, was he? And I'm real proud of him. He could have really gotten after me. But let me say this. I just did an interview at WVVA, and they're really good people. And they asked me, the last question they asked me, they said, what are you anxious to see over at the coal show? And you know what I said, and it's exactly how I feel. I'm anxious to see people with smiles on their face, and people that feel hope about our industry that is on its way back, and we've just got to be sure that we sustain and grow. Now, it's great to see all the niceness about the coal show, there's no question about that. But first and foremost, it's nice to see hope And it's nice to see joy and a little bit of passion. Now, let me just tell you this real quick. My dad, my granddad on my mom's side, all my family, my dad's vehicle sits today in the house we still have, and I still can't go in it. It's got on the license plate Coal 1. My license plate right out here has Coal 3. It's been that way a long, long, long time. You see, I owe everything I have to coal, and I get it, and I know it. Now, let me just say this. We have a rebound, and we want it to be even better, and we surely are worried about it being sustainable because of what we've gone through. Now, let me tell you, you do have a president that really does care. Now, Donald can get out there every now and then, we all know that. But I know him, and I know him really well. And I've known him and his family for a long time. It had a lot of bearing on my decision to switch parties. But it wasn't the bearing. The bearing was just this. I tried with all in me to get significant things done as your governor. You see, I don't need to be your governor for me. I've got enough stuff to do that I don't need to be the governor of West Virginia for me in any way. But I do care, and I love West Virginia beyond good sense, and I want goodness for our people. And I don't have any ambition in the world to be your governor, so you'll ask me to come over here and speak or ride in a parade or whatever it may be. I don't have any ambition to do that whatsoever. All I want to do is get stuff done. I want to get stuff done. And what happened to me, and the primary reason to switch, without throwing any rocks or any bad eggs, is just simply this. I was a Democrat, and I ran as a Democrat with no intentions of switching. I've been a Republican all my life. It doesn't matter to me if you're a Republican or a Democrat. I want you to just be West Virginians. But I ran as a Democrat. I was elected as a Democrat. I worked diligently with the Senate President, Mitch Carmichael. The Senate was with us, and enough of the Republican House members were with us. And we got to crunch time. And who dove in the ditch? Over political nothing. My party. Now listen, whether you believe that or don't believe it doesn't matter to me, because I know exactly what happened. And at the end of the day, we got so much less done for the good people of West Virginia than we could have gotten done. It's off the chart. Now, I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that again. There's no way. And so at the end of the day, with that and my position with the Trump team, of what I think we can get done for West Virginia, without question, I need to be a Republican. And that's what I am, and I'm very, very proud to be that. Now, let me just tell you this. I presented an idea to Donald Trump and his team, and it was just this. It's just as simple. It's just that some way, somehow, we cannot lose our eastern coal fields. Now, we know we've got a rebound and we've got great metallurgical coals here, no question. But we can't lose our thermal eastern coal fields. Think about if you awakened tomorrow and we had $30 coal or $32 coal, and let me just wave a wand and say all the eastern thermal production was gone. And it was displaced by natural gas or natural gas and western coal together. Then what happens? What happens if we have a terrorist attack on a junction of pipelines, gas pipelines? What happens if we have a terrorist attack on bridges that would be bringing Western coal to the east. How do we supply Duke Power? How do we supply Southern Company? How do we supply Appalachian Power? How do we supply Florida Power and Light? We don't. You can't turn the eastern coal fields back on. You sure can't haul coal in a truck from Wyoming. And you can't do anything about blown up gas lines, except say we're out of business for 30 days or we're out of business for 180 days. One night in New York City, we were without power. One night, and we had looting and stuff that was off the chart. One night. It would be a catastrophe beyond possible belief. We would lose hundreds of thousands of people. Now, in my opinion, what we need to do is establish a homeland security incentive that would basically pay power plants to take Central App and Northern App coal to ensure our eastern coal fields. Now, I don't know if we'll get it done, but I know this. I know you have a friend in the White House that's trying to help. And I know you have a friend in the White House that genuinely wants to help our miners in West Virginia, in Central and Northern App. Absolutely without doubt. And it's just an idea. That's all it is just an idea, but it is an idea. Now let me tell you, I'm swinging with all in me to do everything in my power to assure that things will be great in West Virginia and great in our coal fields. If you don't believe that, I can't help you, because that's how I feel, that's how I've been brought up. I played in a coal bin forevermore with my grandparents' house in Copperston, and I absolutely, every time I visited my grandparents on my mom's side, they never had indoor plumbing. Now, I know that I'm the American dream. I'm just that. But I've got to touch one more thing with you. We have a roads bond referendum that's coming up here in just a few days. For those of you that have in-laws and outlaws and crazy cousin Harry at the 7-Eleven or wherever it may be, you've got to get them out to vote. And I would highly recommend that you get them out to vote early. Because who wants to go vote on Saturday on October the 7th? But you can go vote early. Now just think about this. And they just handed me this. In these counties in southern West Virginia coal fields, Mercer, McDowell, Mingo, Logan, Wyoming, Raleigh, and Boone, there will be 153 projects, $545.3 million, and 10,912 jobs. Now look, God bless a milk cow. We can't possibly be dumb enough to walk away from an opportunity that is off the blooming chart right in front of us. The only thing that I can see that would stand in our way is you've been scared. You've been told your taxes are going to go up, which is absolutely bogus as bogus can be. See, you've already paid your taxes. You have your D&B fees raised. You have your privilege tax raised from 5 to 6%. You have 3.5 cents that you're paying at the gas pump right now, and the the turnpike tolls will absolutely flow right back to us, and every single dollar of it has to go constitutionally for the roads. Now, there is no tax increase. There is absolutely no tax increase. Every single dollar, it constitutionally has to go to the roads. Now, what happens if you vote no? Well, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. There is no revenue in the budget this year except the economic gain from roads that I put in. Well, that's got to pull back out. You'll lose schools. You'll kill higher education. The people that are the weak and the sick and the Medicaid will get harpooned like crazy. You'll have nowhere to turn. Absolutely, the safety of our children on our roads will be disastrous. Now, and why? And why? The why I can't possibly answer. The other thing is this, the monies that you're already paying, for gas tax or DMV fees or whatever, you know what will happen to them? They'll go into government and they'll be peed away. That's what will happen. That's what government does. Your roads won't get fixed. Your money will get peed away. You'll have been scared that your taxes are going to go up, which is hocus pocus, and we won't have our roads. This is only the first point. Do you know our gross domestic product rose in West Virginia in the first quarter? We were second in the nation, finally second in the nation in something other than deer killed on the highways by vehicles. We're second in the nation in something. Now we got a long ways to go and a lot of opportunities in front of us. But I'm telling you, as well as I know my name, if we want tourism and we want manufacturing and we want all the goodness that we deserve in West Virginia, you got to have our roads. You got to have roads. Now, I always do this, but I want to end by just saying just this. I mean this from the very bottom of my heart when I say that these very people that are all over this place, coal people, you powered our earth. You powered us in wartime. You delivered us steel to win the wars. You made us who we are. And you know what? We're good people. We're proud people. We're faith-based people. We're West Virginians. I love you with all my soul. I will never not tell you the truth. And I'm here to try to do all that I can do. And as long as God gives me breath, I'm going to do just that. We're going to win this battle, and not just win the battle on the roads. I want us to win the battle on the roads by mandate. I want Donald Trump to see West Virginians that voted 90% to do themselves good on their roads. I don't want us to win by 3 votes. For crying out loud, if you told me today we're going to win by 3 votes, I'd say I'd just as soon lose. I don't want that. I want Donald Trump's administration to see that we're trying to help ourselves. I don't want him to turn around and say, well, Justice, for God's sakes of living, you can't help those people. I mean, for crying out loud, why am I trying to help them? It's our chance. It's our chance in many ways. Now, I am telling you, be proud and be happy, and I'll shut my mouth now and defer to these great people, and just look at this great man, Charlie Peters, and his wife Daphne. And did I pronounce that correctly? How about that? Now, but look at how great they've been. And Bill Reed right behind me. And just think, they started, they were the visionaries in the beginning, and I don't know who all else, but thank you for all you've done forevermore. And I mean that. So at the end of the day, all I can do is say, it's a happy day in West Virginia. The sun's shining. We're going to pass a road referendum. Absolutely, the coal market is better. You know there's a bunch of people back to work. There's a bunch of coal miners that are standing right out there that are making $30 an hour, and somebody's standing somewhere wanting to pay them $35 because they need people. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. You drive through the communities and you see the Dairy Queen full of people. You see people buying trucks and cars and everything. It's good stuff. It's great stuff. You know, how can it be any better? It can be better by continuation and keeping going. One thing I'll promise you have, and then I'm done. You got a governor that believes in coal and believes in Southern West Virginia, and for God's sakes a living, I'm with you. I love you. God bless you. Thank you. If anybody's got something, if you're tired of listening to me, I'll leave. Yes, ma'am. Whip it on me. Okay, I don't know that I can't hear real well, but I don't know that I got it all, but I think I got enough. Basically, the question, I guess, is surrounding this is, why don't we have better doctors in West Virginia, and why don't we have better facilities in West Virginia that can take care of people that are having trouble with sickness, whatever it may be? Let me say one thing. WVU, I think, is now ranked 6th in the nation on many aspects of medical care. What they're doing at WVU is off the chart. It's teetotally off the chart. And I commend Clay Marsh and Gordon Gee and on and on and on. But the reality is real simple. And this is all there is to it. Why don't we have jobs? Why don't we have schools? Why don't we have medical care? Why don't we? And in a lot of ways, and you won't like this, but in a lot of ways, you've been expected to be where you are and know your place. You've been expected to say, you're West Virginians. You know you're dead last, stay dead last. Well, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. And we've got to have and have and have. We've got to have a coal industry that's viable and really going somewhere. We've got to have tourism. We've got to have manufacturing. We've got to have new roads. For God's sakes a living, who wants to come here and live when you can't even drive to the convenience store without tearing your car all to pieces? You know? So we've got to have and have and have and have. It doesn't stop with just the roads, or it doesn't stop with just better coal. It's got to go with a lot of things. You've got to have somebody that thinks on this scale. Not somebody who's just trying to bump things down the road. Now listen, if you want somebody to bump things down the road, then you need to get somebody else, and I'll go grouse hunting. You know, I'm this scale. Bill Rainey said, I was the biggest corn farmer in the state or in the nation. Were you referring to this when you said that? I hope not. But nevertheless, there's a lot of this too. Anybody else got anything? You're sick of listening to me, aren't you? And I don't blame you. But nevertheless, I love you, and we're going somewhere. We're going somewhere. You mark it down. If you'll run with me, I won't let you down. There's no way. You wake up 3 years from today and you won't believe where we'll be if we'll run together. That's what we got to do. I love you. Be good. Charlie, thank you again, sir. Thank you, sir.